So in order to grow your business and make more money, you have to identify your weaknesses, right? And I know my weaknesses right out the gate. The hardest thing for me to do is talk to people. So as soon as I made a little bit of money and I could afford an employee, I hired my greatest weakness. So I hired my guy, Ben 10. That's Ben 10 right there. He's my finance guy, my sales guy. He deals with all the people on a daily basis. Now we have to create a process to become more efficient because we're kind of all over the place. I still micromanage a lot, and I know that. I know my weaknesses. We also have a recon problem, but I made enough money. I also hired a detailer. His name is Hubcap. He'll be here in a little while. So as soon as Ben walked in, he gave me a synapse. So what do we got to get done today?
Impala needs a new battery.
Okay.
Envy needs a new battery.
All right.
Durango, we need to figure out the battery draw on that.
Okay.
And also that Silverado's drawing battery too.
Still, okay. So every Thursday here at my dealership, I don't go to the auction, so it's a slow day for me. Every vehicle gets started. If it doesn't turn on and we got to jump it, we'll get a new battery instantly. But that's not Ben's responsibility. Ben 10 is the sales guy, the marketing guy, the finance guy. So we're going to go inside. I'm going to show you how to create a process because we struggle getting to the customer fast enough. Remember, they don't just send you an inquiry. They send everybody an inquiry. So let's go inside. My office is a little dirty, but I get here every Thursday and I restock our snacks, right? I make sure we got candy, breakfast of champions, dinner and a monster, chips, Gator. You got your Gatorades, your water. You know, you want to make sure people have a variety because when they're nervous, they like to eat, and that'll help them get through the process. So the process we're going to create today, the first thing I want done when my guy gets in, first of all, I want him to get situated, to get his mind together, turn on the computer, check some emails, but we're going to go straight to the leads. We're also going to check funding from yesterday. But first things first, a sold car's already done. We just got to get paid for it. We'll check that in a few minutes. Let's get to the leads. So he's going to open up Dealer Center here, right? We're going to click the little, I don't know what's that called when you got a notification link, right? So we got 2 credit apps, right? And a big thing we struggle with is forgetting about the credit apps and not contacting the customer in time. We'll run the app, but if it's not an easy deal, we tend to forget about it. So every day I want Ben to print out all the credit apps on file. So he's going to print out the 2 credit apps we have on file. All right, so he printed out the first credit app. And before you run credit, you need to review it, right? Because it costs money to print the credit app. I mean, it costs money to run the credit app, right? You got to make sure everything's in line. I don't do out-of-state deals. So I got to make sure they live in the state of Florida. Then I want to verify what do they do for a living, right? I had a customer fill out a credit app that makes $500 a month. Yeah, no dice, jit. You can't buy a car at $500 a month. The income has to align. The address has to align. I want to make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's before I spend the $10 it costs me to run the credit app, right? I know it's only $10, but it adds up. I get over 500 credit apps a month. I don't run all 500. It's not worth it for me. All right, so I'm looking at the credit app here, right? He has a North Carolina driver's license, and he lives in North Carolina. So there's no deal. I can't do anything with you, Papa. So we got to call the customer and say, hey, unfortunately, we don't do out-of-state deals. After we check the credit apps, right, we understand there's no deal there. We're going to get to the new leads, right? There's new leads in the system. We're going to either pick up the phone and call them, and if they don't answer, we're going to send them a text message. That's what I want my guy to do first. That's pretty cut and dry. Like, I'm really good at financing, getting the customers in the door, getting them on paper. That's not my hard part. What I struggle with is recon. But I have Ben here, and we collabed, so we bought this. We got a whole stack of inspection sheets. So every car, when it comes in, is going to get an inspection. And this is where we're struggling the most. We're getting cars ready for sale, putting them on the website, making them ready for the customer. Just to give you guys an idea, I bought that 3 weeks ago. We still haven't got the wrap off. We need to get the wrap off. I bought this a week ago. It's not ready for sale. I bought this 2 weeks ago. It's not ready for sale. This, I think, has an AC problem. We got to get it looked at today. That's another issue, right? This Durango, I bought it a week and a half ago. It's not ready for sale. This Tahoe just got in. It's got to get ready for sale. I took this in on trade. I wholesaled it to Rick Dyer, King of Cars. So I need to get this out of here and to his lot right away. It's taking a valuable retail space for me. This is where we detail the cars. This space is worth too much money to me to have a car that I don't need to do anything to, just sitting there. In order to properly train my employee, I need to first know how to do the job. So I'm gonna run through this checklist on this Impala. Today, my responsibility is getting this Impala retail ready. So let's go ahead and start this process. All right, so I started to fill out my inspection sheet. I'm gonna grab the key from the box and I'm gonna go outside and take a look at the car. This is my key box. Make sure it's organized. Ours is not organized. Why? This should be cars that need to be recon. This should be ready to sell. But let's get the Impala key and get started. All right, so I was gonna get in the Impala and show you the battery's dead, but I know the battery's dead and I can't fit there. So I'm gonna have to jump in on the other side, which is fine. But we're gonna get this jump started and inspected. And I'm gonna walk you through my recon process. I'm gonna record it, write it down, so I can teach my guys, because you can't teach people, you have to teach processes. So if you don't know, this is the best jump box you can buy for commercial use. So I got it hooked up to the battery. Now I'm gonna jump in the passenger side and get it started. I'm a heavy dude, so this is a mission, especially with a tripod. Come on, let's get in this car. Let's get it figured out, guys. Ugh, these are my favorite cars. I love the smell of an Impala. Ugh. All right, we're in. All right, I got the key in the ignition. Turns right on. The cold start sounds good. Let me see if there's any lights on the dash. No lights on the dash, good sign. So first things first, I checked the AC. AC blows cold. I never check the heat. I'm in Florida. I know I should, but I don't. I probably should. All right, check the radio. Now let's check all the windows. Windows are down. Windows are down. Golden. Now I put between 20 and 50 miles on every vehicle. So let's go spin this vehicle around the block. This is why I love long test drives. You learn things about the car you didn't know. So I noticed this light was on and I checked around, all the doors are closed. The light was left on. So the battery might be good, but let's go on the drive anyway. So I can hear a slight noise from the left side. I don't know if I'm very concerned about it, but let's get it up to speed. Let's make sure the gears are shifting. It seems very, oh my God, this is a great running car. And another importance of the test drive, as I'm on my test drive, I tell people, hey, that's a good car. Or I'll tell them, hey, it's a beater, it's a piece of shit, right? And the question that you get in return is, how do you know? I know because somebody at my dealership drives every car. This is mandatory, right? My guy drove this back from the auction and I'm driving it now because I wanted to show you guys the process I'm creating for my recon. You need to cut recon down to 7 days. Anything more than 7 days, you're gonna lose money. But I think it's crazy. A dealership will tell a customer, yeah, it's a really good car. Well, how do you know? You didn't drive it. I looked at your auction slip and you bought it with 100,000 miles even, and it still has 100,000 miles. So it's like you got it off the truck, you parked it, you washed it, and now it's for sale. Nobody's driven it, and that's a big issue. So the car drives wonderfully. Now I'm gonna check the fluids. I should have checked the fluids first, but I didn't want the battery to die again. I didn't want to re-jump start it. But always check the fluids first. I knew this had oil, so I skipped it. But let's check all the fluids. Let's check what we can visibly see on the motor. So the motor is a little dirty, and I'm okay with dirty. Let's check the oil, right? That's clean oil. It does not need an oil change. So I'm gonna write that on my list. Oil, good. Making sure the headlights work, the blinkers work, all because it's on the list. I might have forgot if I didn't have the list. So the car is in immaculate condition. Look at the tires. Less than 100 miles. The interior needs some cleaning. I don't clean floor mats. I throw them away and I replace them. This door needs checking, right? Look at that. So we got to get this door fixed. Other than that, I'm not fixing anything on this car. It's going to be a very cheap car, and I'm going to keep it cheap by not doing unnecessary work, right? It might need a valve cover gasket, right? It might. And I'm going to have my detailer inspect it. He's very mechanically inclined. And if it does need it, I will do that. But I went through my checklist, and I'm going to turn it in to my GM. Once my GM gets this paperwork, then he's going to determine, hey, are we going to fix it? Are we going to dump it at the auction? Or is it good to go the way it sits? And we make that decision collectively. And this is what I'm telling you. If you own your own business, find your weaknesses and then find a process to correct the weakness. We all have weaknesses. We're all learning together. We're all starting from the bottom, and you learn as you go. I see my recon takes way too long, so I'm going to correct that today. We're going to create this process. We're going to implement it, and we're going to see if it brings value to the business. And we'll revisit this in a month.